Welcome back, everyone. Actually, as you can see, it's evening. There's a gorgeous sunset out here. The camera's just not going to do it justice. But I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of a safety measure. You've seen on this channel before, we've broken windows on our tractors while brush hogging. Our tractor does not have a guard behind it, and it doesn't really have a good way to mount one either. So we're gonna do something to just prevent rocks from even being able to come from the brush hog. But first, look at that gorgeous sunset. Whew. I doubt the camera is doing it justice, but it is pretty. And for once, the winds are calm. Something that doesn't happen very often. Anyhow, the brush hog has no chains that hang down, no guards, and it's an older brush hog, and I paid very little money for it. It is a Batwing. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do in order to prevent rocks from hitting our windows again. Two of the things that are helpful for us are gonna be these. These are adapters that we made so that we can connect. So it goes from the skid steer to a Pioneer fitting for implements that, you know, generally would hook up to your tractor, obviously. So we're gonna put that on there. We're actually gonna keep this closed for a second. And then we're gonna put this one on. Pretty simple to make them. It's literally just get you a flat face skid steer connector, the male and female, and then we bought 1/2 inch pipe thread or couplers, basically, so we can put them in here and then connect to our Pioneer fitting. Same thing on your Pioneer. It should be a 1/2 inch coupler as well, or 1/2 inch pipe thread. Should be the size of it anyhow. We'll grab the skid steer real quick, and then we'll bring it back over here and I'll show you what we're gonna do. Plan is to use this. This is a roll. It's a 1/4 inch thick, 6 inch wide roll of rubber. And as you can hear, it is very heavy. So our thought process was essentially to mount it like this across the front. Now, I know that it's not gonna go all the way to the ground, and I'm okay with it. If you wanted to take it all the way across the ground, you definitely could. But what I've noticed is that with our mower, you know, 8 inches above the ground is about all that this sits off of. So I figured 8 inches would be too much and it'd be dragging. And then not only that, but typically when we brush hog, it's because the pastures are just thick and not overgrown, like out of control. They're just overgrown for the sheep. There's too much there, they can't eat it all. And there's some weeds that are gonna seed out if we don't knock it down. So that's why we do it. But there are definitely rocks in our pasture because we do live in South Central Missouri and we want them to be kept out of our windows. Ready. You can see I pre-drilled some holes. Maybe you can't see. All right. So I pre-drilled some holes in the metal. It's roughly a little over an eighth, just a little over an 1/8 inch thick. Not quite, I'd say probably 3/16. Anyhow, a good drill bit gets you through there, get you some pilot holes, and then I also have some self-tapping screws that we're using, and then I'm putting a washer on them as well. This is pretty much what it looks like right here. Not much of a washer. I mean, it's barely bigger than what the head is, but should be enough because I'm pulling on that, pulling on that pretty good and it's not ripping. So what I'm hoping is that as we go down, it does the same concept all the way down. Let's see what happens. There we go. I didn't mean to go in that far, dang it. I had to shut the garage door and turn the heat on. Get a little cold out. Anyhow, this side's on. I do need to add some washers. I don't have any. I thought I did, but turns out they're the wrong size. So, not a big deal. I did start this side. Now on this side, I was a little smarter. So I did not not drill any of my holes. So the top one's drilled. Now all the way down. Basically, as I go down, hold this up where I want it, and then I'll do my measurement, make sure I'm in about where I want to be. Once I mark yep, there we go. Once I mark it, then I'll go ahead and drill it. Hopefully I don't break the bit. There we go. Same thing here. Line our hole up. Got through, we'll get it on there. We'll get it to where it's tight but not impressed on through the rubber to where it rips it. Do that the whole way down. All done. Actually, this side was a little simpler. Where it's gonna get a little bit tricky, I plan on putting it here in these creases too, where the hinges are, or were. I used to have these plates on there. However, as you can see, these have all rotted away. That's the only thing left of any of them, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and make some new ones with the rubber. All done. As far as this side, I realized that probably should have checked my Amazon order when it came in, which was 2 months ago. So I'm outside the return window. Anyways, there were supposed to be 2 rolls of this neoprene rubber. Turns out there was only 1. So I don't have enough to finish that right there, or this very front part right here. So once it's all said and done though, it will all look just like this, all the way down. And then all the way across the top. And then I wanted to show you as well, when it folds, what it's gonna do. I'm sure you saw in the video, I folded it, and with both sides connected, I can't actually get it to where I can put my pin back through. It won't fold far enough because this rubber is folding down and it's actually getting in the hinge. So what I ended up doing was disconnecting the side that folds, mainly because it's easy for this just to kick up. I was gonna do it on that side, but then I was like, you know, whenever it's folding in, it's hard to say where it's gonna go. This way, it basically rides up, no big deal. So that's how this is gonna be. The other side will be the exact same. I did end up doing this side first because these blades actually rotate when you're watching right here. These blades actually rotate counterclockwise. I just realized I did the wrong side first. Well, oops. Yeah, I should have done that side first. Oh crap. I guess I'll do that when the rest of it shows up. Anyhow, this part here actually is out, like I put it on there and it's actually naturally rolled like that from being rolled up for so long. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. That way when this folds down, it's not caught in there and it basically continues our line. So hopefully, God willing, that will fix all of our issues for broken windows, I hope. It's only happened, well, I mean, it happened to our back window and then it happened to both of the lower back windows on the 7045. Fortunately, we had a viewer that had a back window for the 7045, so that was actually really helpful. Unfortunately, without them helping us and finding one for us and selling us one for a reasonable price, it would have been very, very expensive. We actually had an estimate from our local glass shop here, and it was about $600 to have one made. And as far as finding one at a salvage yard or something like that for Allis, Chalmers, they are there, but they're, by the time I end up paying for shipping and pay for the glass, it's up there. It's around the same price. So either way, like I said, I hope this fixes it. The other cool part is this works very well. So I can't complain about it at all. It works very well. I'm very happy with it. These adapters that go from the flat face Bobcat to Pioneer fittings, it's actually gonna be pretty handy because I use the skid steer to bring the mower conditioner in here. And I think what I'm gonna start doing is when I put the mower conditioner away, I think I'm actually gonna set it all the way on the ground because I'll be able to use the hydraulics off of this to lift it back up. Yeah, that'd be kind of handy. For those of you that don't know, we did get this skid steer for a really good buy. However, we have been fighting leak after leak after leak. And I think we're down to pretty much our last one. Well, last two technically. You can see here, all that shininess, obviously a leak. And it looks like there's a little moisture around that bottom one, or the top one that I've got the light fixed on. So I want to get these tightened up so it stops leaking. If you look down here, you can see it makes a trail, and then that trail goes all the way down. And then it ends up dripping out a little bit right there. A lot of what you saw under there is actually water from when I washed this earlier to figure out where my last leak was. I was pretty sure it was over here, but I just wanted to double check because we did replace one of the hydraulic hoses in the back. And that did make a mess, so I want to get that out of there just to alleviate any, like, oh man, that must be my leak. So, see if we can get this thing tightened up. One other quick little repair. The back bumper is not the original one to this machine. They had it all dented up one on here. They switched it out with one that the machine had caught on fire. Anyhow, when they took the other bump or the other back door off, the bumper or whatever you want to call it, they didn't disconnect any of this and ruined all the wires because they got caught in that belt. So I want lights to work on the back. I don't really care so much about the marker lights, but I want these LED lights to work because we're going to use this in our barn And then obviously we'll use it outside sometimes too, as far as load manure and all that good stuff. I want to be able to see. So I need to get some wiring done over here. First thing we're going to do here is this. You can probably tell we can see just fine going forward. Well, now we can see just fine going backwards as well. The only ones that don't work are these little red lights right here on both sides. I just need to get a socket for them so that I can put them in there. And then those will work too. Not as concerned about that, far more concerned about actually having light to see. I think I'm gonna go ahead and park this back under the lean-to because it's gonna be a little while before those rubber pieces come in. And Thanksgiving is this week, so got some family coming in. I do need to do a couple things to this real quick before the family gets here. So I'll probably do that and then be ready for Thanksgiving. So, yeah.